ओंटारियो ਵਿੱਚ 22 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਤੋਂ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਪਲੇਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਇਸ ਮਾਮਲੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੋਲਣ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੈਟਰ ਜੂਨੀ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਲੋਕ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਗਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਕੋਰੋਨਾ ਦੀ ਚੌਥੀ ਵੇਵ ਕਾਫੀ ਮਾਰੂ ਸਾਬਤ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ।
Of all, what we need just to be aware of, all those people who remain unvaccinated are at extremely high risk of getting infected. And if you're a bit, middle-aged or so or older, this means you have a relatively high risk of ending up on an ICU. So all those unvaccinated people out there will still be able actually to overwhelm our ICUs, and that's what we see in these projections. So what do we need to do? First of all, the steps taken right now are all the right ones. Here in Ontario, we never exited, step 3 of this reopening framework we had. So we didn't pretend everything is hunky-dory. It's not anyway. And now we start to have also in this province, like in many other provinces, a tool at our disposition, the vaccine certificates, which will help us to deal with the high-risk scenarios. And the point really is, we know that from many studies out there, especially, studies that use mobility data to understand where the infections actually are happening. An indoor dining or gym, etc., that's really the settings where this is happening. And if we now can restrict these settings to people who are fully vaccinated, it will not only help keeping cases under control, but it will also keep those who are not fully vaccinated out of trouble, so they don't end up that easily and that early on our ICUs. That's what we need. And we also need to be aware of that, that we can deal with this from an ethical perspective also much better if we talk about discretionary spaces for patrons. It's much more difficult to impose something for staff, and it's much more difficult when you then start to think about other spaces. So what is done right now here in the province of Ontario is an absolutely great first step. We will see how it goes. There might be adaptations needed, but it's great that we have the tool now. The point is, without the vaccines, things would look considerably worse. That's really important just to realize. This virus is so transmissible that without vaccines, and you see that even in New Zealand right now, they always try to COVID zero, it's not working out. They really struggle to keep Delta under control. Without our vaccine coverage that we had, things would look 10 times worse. And the point now is vaccine plus Delta is a bit comparable to the lame variant we had last year in August. And no vaccines yet. So what we just need to do is just keep the coverage going up and up, and then we will get better. There's no way for those who are not vaccinated that they don't get infected. Their risk of getting infected during the next 6 to 12 months is above 90%.